Sections 3 and 4 of the Child Safety Policy address what if the unthinkable takes place? What if we believe there's an allegation or there is a suspicion of abuse taking place in one of our ministries or in the life of a child who is coming to one of our ministry activities? What do we do then? As an adult in the state of Texas, and in fact most states in our nation, adults are required to report any suspicious acts of abuse, any reasons that they may believe that abuse may be taking place. And it is fully within your rights and your responsibility to report those directly to the authority. I would be the last one to say that you should not do that, you cannot do that, because you need to take this responsibility seriously. And you need to do what you can do to protect a child that you believe is vulnerable to abuse. What I am suggesting, and what our policy is suggesting, is that if it is a suspicious abuse in a Green Lawn activity or in the family of a Green Lawn member, that you come and visit with the leadership at Green Lawn, visit with our shepherds. There are some situations where there may be circumstances that have the appearance of one thing, but we know of other things going on that we can help you with, that we can answer questions about. And then you can make your decision from there about what to do with that report moving forward. The other thing it would do is it would allow you to have someone come alongside you as you make that report. There are some of us here that have had to make reports before. We're experienced with that. And we could come and help a person do that, especially if they haven't done it before. And so, in reporting suspected abuse in somebody's life, here are the steps to take. Number one, make a written report. Give it to a minister, a shepherd, or an appropriate sponsor. We have the incident report that we've prepared for you to be able to fill out, or just put it down on a piece of paper. What is it you saw? What is it that you heard? What is the evidence there that makes you believe that abuse is taking place? And give that to one of the Green Lawn leadership. That report will then be reviewed by the shepherds and ministers. And then they'll follow up in an appropriate manner according to procedures in Section 4 of our policy, which we'll refer to here in just a moment. And remember, you have the right and the responsibility to raise questions if abuse is suspected. Don't go away and keep silent. Keep the protection of children utmost in your mind and in your heart as you work with children. Remember this, the privacy of all parties should be respected. I mean, after all, we're a family, aren't we? And what do families do whenever they get together? Well, besides eat, they talk. We talk about each other's lives. We talk about what's going on. Well, this is one of those areas that it's best not to talk. We need to respect the privacy of an abuse victim, someone that you suspect is suffering abuse. Respect that person and don't let rumors go out about that abuse. We need to respect the privacy and integrity of the one who's being accused, especially if there has been no proof given yet or there's been no conviction of any kind of abuse. We need to treat that person with respect and be concerned about their soul as well. And we need to protect the integrity of any investigation that's being made. We don't need to let the investigation be muddied up with rumors and with gossip and with hearsay. Let the investigation go forward with as much fact as it possibly can. You're protected whenever you make reports about abuse. As provided for in the Texas Family Code, a person acting in good faith who reports or assists in the investigation of a report of alleged child abuse or neglect, or who testifies or otherwise participates in a judicial proceeding arising from a report, petition, or investigation of alleged child abuse or neglect, is immune from civil or criminal liability that might otherwise be incurred or imposed. What the state of Texas is saying is that if you fulfill your responsibility in good faith of trying to protect the life of a child when you believe abuse is taking place, If after the investigation is done, after everything comes to light, those allegations were not accurate, they were not truthful, if you made those reports in good faith, you're protected from any kind of civil liability that someone may want to bring against you. You cannot be sued for that report. So don't let fear of repercussions stand in the way of you protecting the life of a child. Now, once a report is made, the leadership here has put together some guidelines for themselves about responding to those allegations of abuse. You see, having a plan helps leadership respond appropriately. They're not just shooting from the hip. They're using a plan that they have thought through, that they have prayerfully considered, and that has been proven in the past to be helpful in such situations. The plan's a guideline for the response. Every situation is different. Every situation has its own circumstances about it. They're unique, and they demand that judgment and discretion be carefully exercised in those situations. It also needs to be reminded that the response made by the church is one that's focused on that which is spiritual, that which is decisive, that which is candid. And so those guidelines and that response that is made needs to take all of these things into consideration. Having a plan helps ensure that situations are dealt with fairly and consistently. They're not being done arbitrarily or capriciously. They're being done with thoughtfulness. And so the leadership has a plan that they use as a guideline for responding to these kinds of allegations. And in section 4 of the policy, I'd encourage you to go read through that response that our leadership will make to those situations so that you can know what it is that they intend to do whenever they can help in a situation like this.